Hey,
Hi.
hello,
Hey, Lucky.
good afternoon. For Sebastian, it's good morning. For Nations, maybe good evening.
Yeah.
That's great. So, welcome. Ready to start?
Yes.
Yep.
Any updates from your side? All good?
Yeah.
Yeah, all good. Thanks.
Cool, cool. Okay, so let's jump in. I'm just gonna close some windows here and share my screen. Got it? I always
Yes.
hear people asking the "can you see my screen" question. I think it's the most said phrase in Zoom. Everyone, it's just this urge to say it whenever we start sharing our screen. So I have my personal window here, and I have my non-technical profile there. I was just starting to open things up. And so in terms of announcements for us, we have a new Linktree that you can open. And if you go there, Cardano for non-techs, I've been sharing this everywhere. And hopefully this is a one-stop shop to get everything you need about this initiative. I even did a little video here welcoming people so that if you share it, one of the driving forces of this is the learners, you coming over. And by the way, Huanqing said he can't make it today. I don't know about Lucy, but I'm trying to organize with other people that may be trainers of other languages to come and learn this course so that they can spread it to different languages. And that's what that's why I'm trying to effort. So this is really shareable and self-presentable. Yeah, so that's basically why we have the Linktree created. And WhatsApp as well. I created one. Let me know if you on Discord or something. Let me know if you want to be added. Send me your mobile phone if you want to be added to this one. But the goal of this WhatsApp chat is really just to onboard people, so because it's easier for people to click in and start being in contact with us. And not everyone is on Discord from day one, but we will try to push to support people to go into Discord so they can. There we can keep a better log of things. Then I also added a backlog section, and this ties in with the point here about how to easily navigate this document. So because it's getting a bit long, I've tried to create some sections there where in the beginning we just have the main links. So you always have the link tree there. And on the YouTube videos, I'm going to start using this and update the descriptions. Then you have some context here, and then you have the sessions. So if we navigate to what I was talking about, a backlog, you can click there, and there we go. So because we started running out of things in the past sessions, I basically started throwing ideas into here, and now it's even had, I think some of these are not supposed to be showing. So I'm just deleting the highlights. Okay, so this is from the backlog. I've already split it into practical things, which is our focus, is things that you can, hands-on work in. But then, what's this one? This one's a fake one too. Research and education is a bit like understanding a bit the concepts. For example, Huanqing was asking me about DAOs, so I put in these links, which I've also shared on Discord. Demos of under the hood, it's something like you can create tokens via the command line. This is something that Sebastian was doing on the other day with the Eastern Town Hall breakout room. And it's something that I remember to do maybe because currently we're between pre-production and the old testnet, and none of them are really working, which, it limits our options a bit. So here we had solutions that were working a lot on testnet, where we could even do little swaps and get some things from the faucet or get drip drops, which is demo tokens. And now in pre-prod, there's not much of that. So to compensate for this lacking here of how to play and create your own tokens, I added in the demo of creating your own tokens via command line, where I can create Skycoin or whatever and share it. And even some things about smart contracts if we have, because in Gimbalabs, we are creating our own tools, more advanced, like faucets and things like those. Here, it was not a faucet. It was just a demo smart contract where you can swap tokens. So maybe we will start having these tools that we are building in Gimbalabs PBL, and that can serve here as a learning resource. Yeah, and this is the rest of the bag that I'm still haven't organized up above. Okay, so any comments? Please just feel free to open your mic anytime.
No, that's really cool, Lucas. Really, really, really
Cool.
good.
Thanks. Just trying to see a bit. As you know, we are building the road as we go, so that's why I was trying to create some leeway. Okay, so this is done. This I've done. Now, to jump into a bit of content for today's session, I wanted to start by talking about why you should delegate. So in the last session, we were going over importing our seed phrase into Eternal on pre-production, funded, and then we did a quick word about the proof of stake in regards to how servers communicate to each other and need to agree and etc. So that's like the technical side of why proof of stake is necessary for the blocks to be secure technically. But I didn't really cover this highlighted part there. So that's what I'm going to talk about for the next few minutes. And we also delegated to a chosen pool, stake pool. So today, focusing on why you should delegate, the two main reasons are decentralization and to compensate for the Cardano issuance inflation. So focusing on the decentralization, like I was explaining in the last session, if you have a lot of servers that the network needs to be peer-to-peer and redundant when some servers join or leave or etc. It needs to be stable, and that talks a bit about the decentralization, the redundancy of the network, but also in terms of keeping the network impartial. So I have these two documents there. They have some great visualizations, and here I'm talking a bit, we are talking a bit more about why you should delegate in terms of, yes, there are servers running in the network and sharing the work impartially between each other. But if you all don't delegate, if we all don't delegate, and if we all delegate to the same pool, we're still going to have centralization. So here I'm touching on this point to mention you should delegate and you should try to decentralize your delegation as well. So don't initially, for example, maybe you will see it on one of my wallets. I was delegating to Umurgo, which is great because they're one of the founding companies of Cardano. But now I'm delegating to a YouTuber that is educating me a lot. So here we have this visualization of, it's just a data viz that someone did on, I think, the pools. And you can see here something very interesting, which is a bit how the network was built and evolved in terms of decentralization, because initially IO was running some servers and we had sort of like a federated network where there were some main servers. I'm not 100% sure because I was just taking a look at this document. I need to read it better, but just from what I gather reading it with you, we had some centralization and we had a federated network of peers here. Then we got into a hybrid network, and here we're now in a fully peer-to-peer network, which means everyone is the same, equal in terms of relevance in the network. But to preserve this type of thing, you need to delegate, to spread your delegation of your ADA rights to mine, to issue blocks. You need to spread it to different staking pools. Okay. On this topic as well, there are probably going to be in the future I hear something about DREPs, which is a concept that you can delegate and spread out to someone that's going to decide to whom they delegate. So you can, it's like a trusted party. You delegate to that DREP and he delegates to other stake pools. So you don't need to be managing your delegations so closely. And yeah, I think there's also some websites that try to do sort of like a portfolio. For example, if I do a gathering of Portuguese stake pool operators and I want to support them, one of my wallets I can assign to that portfolio splitter. Let's call it that. Okay, so you have these two documents if you want to glance over them or read them carefully, and they are in our notes document there. Sorry, in our notes document right there. So the second reason why you should delegate and not just hold ADA in your wallet on like idle is because of the issuance inflation. So we talk about inflation usually in fiat currencies where, you know, the government is issuing more dollar or more euro, and therefore they are devaluing all the existing euro and dollar. In Cardano, we also have that. Even in Bitcoin, what happens with these situations is that I don't have an issuing plan for, let's see if I can find it. One thing that we're not doing so much on our sessions is Googling things. Issuance plan tokenomics. So this is a big skill to come over and try to do your own research. DYOR is I'm just looking for that chart where we see like a curve of Cardano being issued, and it's going to gradually, if I draw it with my mouse, going to grow and expand and slowly get towards the end value. I don't know if I have it there. Maybe I'll add, oh, there we go. It's this type of thing. So you see that it's growing from the staking rewards, which is from the servers running. We're still going to have up until 45 billion. And some of them have been released. Well, this, I don't think this chart is from the beginning, obviously. So this is what we can foresee for the future. So it's because of this inflation of the ADA available, because we're still issuing more ADA, that in reality, most people, even some people that are deep in the community, they don't have a notion that in reality, you are getting a reward from your staking. So if I go to my eternal, when I pick my staking pool, I will see there, currently I'm on the pre-production, even with my personal browser. Just pointing out that if I go to the delegation part, where's that? Staking. So you see these revenues here, 4%, 1%, 3%. This is like income for you. So if you have 100 ADA plus 4%, you're going to have 104 ADA. Okay, and that sounds good. But you need to contemplate that because things that more Cardano is being issued, it's devaluating the Cardano you already have in the Cardano in general. It's nothing very, very dramatic like happens in fiat currencies, but there's this difference there. So this value is this value that you see there in terms of revenues, which varies from pools to pools. I was talking with an SPO recently, and this is pre-production. So these values are not really significant for the comparing to mainnet. But the SPO was telling me that some people are very scared because some values oscillate a bit, but in the long term, it always tends to 4.6 or something like that. So the stake pool business is a bit like indifferent. It's like the same if you delegate to one or the other. There's some exceptions when you have some stake pools that are really, really small. They may not be producing blocks, and therefore they won't have much revenue. But yeah, so just to close up on all this context, the main thing here is that you have this income from delegating your ADA, but then because there is issuance, the adjusted reward is the actual purchase value that you actually are getting. Okay, so currently it's at this value. It will vary a bit, but this is just to close on why it's important that you delegate. So to enforce decentralization on the blockchain across several small pools as well, and to compensate for the issuance inflation. Okay. Any questions so far? All good? Okay, I hope this is useful and it like clears the matter of should I delegate or is it just the same? And also an important topic of why you shouldn't delegate to exchanges. Okay, exchanges. Because we're centralizing too much power in the exchanges, and that's not very healthy. Right, so now I would invite you to take a look, since we were delegating on our last session, I would invite you to take a look at your wallets that you have on your non-tech browser there. So I'm just going to open my journal, and hopefully it has the same type of scenario as yours. So we've been importing it here. We funded our wallet. So if I go to the transactions, I've done a lot of things on this one. I received funds and all that. Sorry, maybe I'm confusing you a bit. In terms of the staking delegation, where do I see the current one? There. So this is what we were doing on the last session, where so today is the 14th. Not sure about these dates, but I wanted to point out that we have epochs, which are like groups of blocks and slots, and it's just like it has to do with the accumulation of blocks in the blockchain. And for each epoch, I'm gonna get rewards from a certain stake pool. So in this case, I have this situation where if I registered, I'm not sure why it's saying 14th, but it's only going to impact me on a few epochs later. That's when I'm going to start having rewards. So it works a bit in an offset of the current date where you do things. I can also show you on another wallet. So here I'm on the pre-production, which is Play Money. It's a throwaway wallet with test ADA. I'm just going to switch it to mainnet on the other screen for a sec. Pardon. And I'm going to hide my balances just for, privacy's sake. And so you can see there, I have a number of different wallets in my Eternal. And what I just wanted to show you was that in this situation, I've been delegating this wallet for a lot of time. And this is the one that I said that I was delegating to Emurgo. So I've been getting these staking rewards all throughout these dates. And now we still have the same situation where today is the 14th. So we're somewhere here, and it's already preparing to delegate. So now I changed it, and it's already preparing for the future blocks to be issued by this pool and not this pool. Okay, so let's take a look at another one. This one is the Gimbalabs. This one is my personal, more serious wallet. This one is more playful things. And yeah, so I would invite you to go into your wallet and take a look at this and see how it is. Maybe I can ask someone to share your screen. And I'm going to pass the word to Juan.
Thank you, Lucas. First, I want to thank you for this space. It's awesome. I'm really grateful that you are doing all this for everybody. And I just want to make a note in reference to the delegation to to exchanges. The most important reason for that, for not to do it, is the keys. They all know keys, and you don't know your money when you don't have access to it directly. It's through their keys. That's that. I just want to mention that.
Yeah, I totally agree. I had something put in our backlog about wallets in custody. So yeah, we're going to go over that eventually. Great stuff. Thanks. So does anyone want to show us your staking rewards, or how your Eternal is showing since we delegated last week? Does anyone have it open? Not really. No? You're just in spectator mode. That's not the goal of this call. I'm sorry. Nishan, did you get to delegate last week? It's just
Yeah,
no?
I did delegate. But it was like actual data, not the.
Oh, so you're doing it on mainnet?
I did it on mainnet, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, because I thought you had this type of profile with just test data and etc. No?
Yeah, I did it on the real one as well. But like I passed sort of like one of those cycles, like 100% cycle, like after 5 days. But it like didn't give me anything. I don't know why, but
It's gonna take some epochs, I think. Yeah, that's why we need to keep an eye on it and learn how to get used to it. But in overall, if we think a bit long term or midterm, just choose a pool and let it sit there. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just gonna share my screen again. And what else do we have here that we can take a look at? So coming back to session 5. Oops. So I would challenge you to change to a different SPO if you can. So I'm just going to illustrate that here because we don't have much time as well. So here I did this. I also keep my notes there for my wallet, and I'm just going to come here and go to the staking screen. So, okay, so this is where I wanted to come before. So this is the delegated pool where I am, and these are the other ones that I can choose from. And so I'm just going to take this one, for example, and delegate to it, just to enrich my history on my Eternal wallet, so we can take a look at it later. So again, to change your stake pool operator, it's really just this. You don't need to undelegate or do anything else. You really just come to the staking screen and choose another one, press delegate, sign the transaction. And now, like we've spoken before, everything is a transaction when it's persisted in the blockchain. So now I have this pending transaction here. And you can see even my UTXOs, we spoke about them. They're like balloons of balance and of tokens. I had to send it to myself. I had to pay from this UTXO, which is in my account, and it's sent to my account. That's just the same. So that's why we have this little icon there. It's neither a send or a receive. It's an internal transfer. But in the middle, I just lost 17 cents of ADA, which is the fee for the signing the transaction. That's going to change my stake pool. Okay. So now, if I come to this screen later, it's going to start showing the new one. Okay. So what else? Okay, so just a bit more about stake pools. So we've spoken about how the network needs to work technically, how you can contribute to by delegating, with the two main reasons why you should do that. And now speaking a bit about the activity of being a stake pool operator, where you can go and delegate for them to stake. I dropped a number of links here, and the bulk of the notions I want to transmit here is that, sorry, here. The bulk of the notions I want to transmit here is that the stake pools can have different motivations in terms of their approach. Some of them are YouTubers, some of them take an approach of educating the audience. So the type of work that we're doing here, teaching each other, is the type of work they take upon themselves. Woodland Pools, for example, is just a random one that I pick that has resources they publish, and they try to contribute to the Cardano ecosystem by teaching people to do things. In this case, it's, they're helping their delegators to choose themselves in a way. We have these guys, which you may know from somewhere. Gimbalabs. I just installed Grammarly, so now it's just nagging here. I can't really click it. Dismiss. There we go. And we have Cardanistas. And we have Riverpool. So I'm just going to go over these examples very quickly. So we had these guys who are, they have their own YouTube channel. They have like 8,000 people following them on YouTube. And then we have Gimbalabs, who they do courses. They have simple courses, more coding courses. And that's their ethos, is to teach people to become developers in Plutus. And so we run a stake pool to support our, if you want to support our activity, you can delegate to us, and therefore we're probably going to get some rewards from the running the server as well. That's the way you can give back to Gimbalabs, by delegating. So coming back to Woodland, you see here like tons of tutorials about things. Some of them will probably overlap with what we are doing. Cardanistas is a local community in Brazil. They have tons of content there on social networks. Here as well, they are educating people in Portuguese. So stake pools are more localized than, maybe proof of work, for example, which is completely global and everyone's doing exactly the same. Here, there's this component of the people that run the servers have interest in sharing it in their own language for their own people, so that they're delegating to them. And here we have another example of that, which is a Portuguese stake pool. Okay, their website is mainly in Portuguese. You can toggle there. And they run Telegram chats, they run YouTube channel. So yeah, basically this is some examples of what you see there. Stake pools may want to do for their community. Okay, any questions? Good. Okay, so I think this was like a 4-part introduction to the stake pool. So here, what it is, why you should delegate, and this part. And now moving on. After this, I highlighted here in orange because I was having some trouble. We just have like 10 minutes, I think, for our session. Let's maybe try to do one of these or something, but I would really encourage you to come onto the Discord chat channel and like discuss a bit what you want to see, reinforce some ideas around anything that you have here, so that we can try to start drafting our session 6 for next week. And so yeah, here sending multiple tokens to addresses. For this one, I just wanted to check that I have your testnet addresses. So one of the things I did with my colleagues earlier today was ask them to send me some pre-production testnet tokens. And so besides having test ADA here, I have ULI token, and I have these tokens, which my colleague developer in Gimbalabs sent to me, and she probably minted this on like code on her environment. So what I'll do is come over here, go to our wallets page, which is there. And I just wanted to check we're still aligned in terms of what wallets you have in your sheet there. So today we have Sebastian, Juan, and Nishan. Just going to highlight you there so I can keep a note. And in terms of your addresses there, can you confirm if you're using the same addresses that we were using in testnet?
Yeah, I'm using the same one.
Yeah. So I'm just going to go and copy the 3 of them there. And since we're on this topic, I'm just going to fix this formula there. Since we're on this topic, I would point out again that what you had on the old testnet, which is the legacy testnet, is completely distinct from what you have on this one. Although the address is the same, it's like using the same email at 2 different services. I have Lucas@Gmail is not the same that Lucas@Hotmail or something else. So 2 different networks completely. You can see there pre-prod, you can see there the testnet. So this one, we're probably not going to use it so much, although there are some tools still working here. And so for example, the Nami wallet is still just working on the old testnet. Now, I'm just going to get your addresses then and crack on with sending you some ULI tokens. Okay, we have these ones. Just going to highlight them there as well. And now, let's see if I can do this. Okay. So as you see, I have a lot of ADA and I have this much tokens. I'm just going to do a send. And here is a bit of a challenge for me as well. Not sure how to do a send to multiple addresses at the same time. Sebastian, is this something you're into?
No, I have the same problem.
Okay.
Multiple accounts.
Here we could add a transaction message. Maybe I need to come to the transaction builder. Or maybe I need to do this offline and then show it on the next session. Okay, let's save this one for the next session maybe. Just gonna come here. And so at least we validated that you have your addresses. I'm just gonna go skip this one and maybe I'll do it offline. Maybe I'll record a little video when I get it sorted. And here in terms of, maybe we can use the last few minutes we have. Let me just check. We have 6 minutes. Okay, sharing screen. Guys, let me know if we are running out of time, because you can see a counter as well, right? Can you not see the counter on the call?
Yeah, 6 minutes.
Okay, so let me know if we're running close to the end, because I cannot see it. What I'm going to do is just go through this section there, where I try to show you a bit browsing tokens and NFTs on Eternal. So if I come to my Eternal, if I come to this one, for example, this is the main net. And because I've been around, I've gone to some certain websites to exchange my ADA for other things. If I come to my token list, you see here, there's a number of other tokens there. And so this is how Eternal represents them. I can click one of them. There's these technical informations there. You can see there's an image that's coming from IPFS from, remember when we minted tokens in Game Changer. This is the same type of thing. There's a URL for the maker of this NFT. Some other details, his Discord and contact details, etc. This one is going to be more interesting, the policy ID and asset. All these three ones mainly is something that you can go onto some certain websites on the blockchain and explore them. So these are all tokens, and you will see that I have a certain amount of them if I wasn't showing just the asterisks for everything. So some of these I have a huge amount because they're very, very small, each of them. And they were also, all of this was given to me for like, I think 40 cents of ADA in this service that's called Tap Tools. One distinction here is that these are like, I have 10,000 of this, for example, or something. They're all tokens. It's like, instead of being Cardano coin, ADA coin, it's just going to be tokens. These ones are a bit different because they are NFTs. So there's no unit, no quantity here. It's just, I have this one. It's like a badge or a sticker or a card, a baseball card or something. And the interesting one about this as well is that I have, this is basically a music file, audio or wave file that I can open on chain. It's downloading it from the IPFS. So this is what an NFT looks like. Okay, it just gets the music. Can't you hear that a bit? No, I'm not sure. I never looked at how Zoom shares or not the sound, but basically I'm going to drop this link in the document when I can. And okay, so here I need to share a link. Okay, and just to highlight here as well where I got that from, it's this type of service where you can go to, and because they have like protocols with new projects that are beginning and etc., you get here, you go to the app, and here, for example, if I go to my wallet and get my address, it's going to be sort of my identifier to begin with. And here I need to go to claim tokens, and I just tell them my wallet address to start sort of the process of picking. So it's just like going to the supermarket where I say, okay, I'm going to give you like 1 ADA. I'm going to pick whatever I want from this basket of offerings. So these are like little projects that are beginning or big projects. So you see here, the same guy is still offering music and like that for whoever wants to get to know his project. And then I would connect my wallet, and the project would say, send me some ADA, because this is on mainnet, obviously. And yeah, that's what would be happening. I would send them 5 ADA, for example, and they send me 4 ADA and 80 minus the fees, plus all of this that I choose from here. So if you have something on mainnet, and this is something that we're probably going to put in our plan, we could try this as well together. Okay. Do we still have a few minutes? 2 minutes. Okay. So for 2 minutes, I'm just going to open it on the screen. And so we have these two exchanges where we can trade things. This is the type of thing that I'm looking for on pre-production network for us to work on. I invite you to take a look at the websites, take a look at the apps. So there's always this difference between, this is the organizational, this one is trying to connect to my wallet. There's the presentation of the project, and there's the actual app where I can work. The simplest thing is to trade or something. I hadn't even used this one until today. Here we have the same thing. So you have all the links on the document. I'm going to add here the music, and I'll see you on the next session. Okay. Let me know if you have any questions on Discord. Share the Linktree with anyone that can use this. if people are still, you know, now we're a bit advanced compared to day one, so maybe invite people to go through the YouTube thing, the playlist, or gather a group of other friends where someone can lead them in going it from the top, maybe not me. Okay,
Try not again.
cool.
Okay.
Thank you so much. See you next week at the same hour.
Bye.